Echo 5, do you copy? Echo 5.
Echo 2, good morning. Nice of you to drop by.
Feeling alright, sir? Thought we lost you.
Right now, I feel like I can take on this whole podcast myself.
I know what you mean. Ready to send that transmission to Echo Base?
Yes, sir. R10, patch through.
Hey guys, welcome to the Hoth Transmissions. This is your co-host Echo 2 with
Echo 5.
guys. We're here today. We're going to be discussing the Mandalorian, the Chapter 10. I believe, what was that one called? It was called the Passenger.
Passenger.
So before we get into that, we are going to talk a little bit of news. While Chewie was out doing his scouting the perimeter of Hoth, he did get a little bit of news from a random probe droid. Interesting enough, on November 17th, we have found out that Star Wars is going to release another holiday special. I don't know, Echo 5, if you've heard too much about it. What are your thoughts on that so far?
Is this the one that's it's like designed like Lego form?
Yeah, it's the one produced by the Lego Star Wars. The premise is Rey goes back in time, and so she's going to relive the events of the original trilogy from what it looks like. So she's going to meet a young Luke Skywalker. She's going to run to Vader and all that jazz. I hope it's not considered canon, because I hope they're just not throwing Rey in to basically take all of Luke's
adventures. Want to get Rey to
make him her own.
Rey takes over Star Wars.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know.
That's kind of what
I think it's just a fun little. Yeah, no, I think that's all it is. It's just a fun little adventure to just kind of revisit some of the original Star Wars, just through her perspective. She's the leading figure of Disney Star Wars, so I think that's probably the main thing. They just want to kind of go through those stories with her. I don't know much about the holiday special. I have to admit, but I saw the old one. I'm sure that this one will be better.
I was gonna say it can't be worse than the original one.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the original one in a long time. I just remember them on Kashyyyk, and you see all the Wookiees holding hands and praying over their dinner or whatever they're doing. I remember it was kind of funny.
Life Day. It was a Life Day celebration.
Yeah, Life Day. That's right. The reference
that's where
from the
day came from in the Star Wars universe.
That was a good mention of the first.
Yeah, which is funny because it's not actually canon, but they've been using it a lot in like some of the older stuff or the newer stuff.
It's really fun. I was gonna say it's really fun as these different Star Wars projects are going on to kind of see what things are becoming canon. They're slowly just kind of dropping little things in here and there, and you're like, oh, Life Day, or they'll just throw something in there, something from the older expanded universe, which is really fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm actually probably gonna watch the original holiday special this year, just because of this one.
Brace yourself.
I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he'd never seen it. I was like, dude, you got to see it. I'm like, it's a train wreck, and it's heavy cringe. But
it's kind of the first.
You got to see
it's probably the first. That's probably the first taste of Star Wars toxic fandom that we've gotten. Long before the prequel Star Wars
didn't even care for it. George Lucas wanted to make it disappear, but that never happened.
That was pre Phantom Menace, Star Wars hate.
Yeah, because you get to meet Chewbacca's family, and oh my goodness, they look horrendous.
They look like monkeys, like the 70s Planet of the Apes monkeys. That's funny.
Yeah, if you thought the ones in Solo looked bad, these were worse.
80s. I meant 80s. Yeah, no, for
I
sure.
Gotcha. So you guys can expect that on November 17th, the new one. It is done by Lego Star Wars, so I've played the Lego game, so I've got a lot of hype for it because they're generally pretty funny. So it's gonna be a fun adventure. And then for Xbox, their Game Pass teased on their Twitter, they teased a picture of Mandalorian with the child, and they labeled it, "All we're going to say is that we're not posting the Mandalorian and the child for no reason." So not exactly sure what that means. They're kind of teasing something that they're going to, I guess Xbox is going to be doing. So just keep an eye out for that. We'll keep you updated, obviously, on Instagram. We try to keep up to date with all the news. So just keep checking back, and we'll get more into that as we find more information about it. So let's go ahead and jump right into the discussion. So first thoughts on the episode.
The Passenger. Okay, so the first time I saw it, I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. I thought it was fun. There was a lot that I liked in it. There was things that I didn't like about it, but I decided to give it a second watch, and I enjoyed it a lot more the second time. I'll be honest. All in all, from beginning to end, I thoroughly enjoyed the episode. The only thing I wasn't a big fan one. The only thing I was not a big fan of was the frog lady. And I know she was kind of cute, and the whole idea with the eggs, that was
I'm
adorable.
actually not gonna lie, I actually liked her. She did get annoying at points, but I did enjoy it.
I think what I didn't like about the frog lady is that they literally just called her a frog. She was a frog, and she wasn't she wasn't a new species in the Star Wars universe with, a unique new name. And obviously she's got her planet stuff, but she was a frog. She's just frog. They call her frog. Hey, I don't speak frog. I don't know. I thought it was a little silly. Other than that, I've got a lot that I liked about the episode that we can get into. But that was my only gripe.
It's actually pretty funny. And on the Wikipedia, she's labeled as the frog lady. But they have it in quotes because they haven't released like you said, they haven't released a species name for it.
Yeah.
They basically just say frog lady was a female creature who was escorted by Din Djarin. So I thought the premise for that, I think the whole point of her was just to get Din Djarin off the planet. Like, he came down there and was looking for a Mandalorian, was a little disappointed, so they're moving it along. Okay, well, instead of just having him get some random information and just jump from planet to planet with convenient storytelling, they kind of slowed it down a little bit and kind of created an individual adventure. And as you guys can kind of see with the first season of Mandalorian, each episode is kind of its own individual story. I don't think that's kind of like braided into the overall plot of the series.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of enjoying it, seeing all the different aspects, because like it was different from the first episode. Like, first episode, action adventure, and then you jump into like a little bit of a horror style.
Yeah, no, that was really good. Yeah, you're right. From the first season, we get sort of individual stories. I know that the first kind of major plot in the first season gets wrapped up in the third episode. But I remember the second episode, it felt like filler, but it still worked for that storyline, what was going on. As he started to get attached to the kid, and he was still fighting off bounty, but I'm still delivering this baby. And then it kind of got wrapped up. And then starting with episode 4 is where I really felt like they were kind of just doing their own side adventures until they got to the main goal of the season, which is a lot of fun. We talked about that last episode, but even the first episode of season 2, it also felt like, you could say, quote unquote, filler, but it was still its own adventure, and it was awesome. New characters, new angles for go ahead, sorry.
I think they're just kind of like exploring the galaxy and kind of giving a lot of fan service. Interesting. Back to the frog lady. She first appeared in chapter 5, but she wasn't like a big part, and so I think they just kind of pulled the costuming and all the character stuff into season 2. But my overall thought of this episode, I was kind of the same way. Like, I watched it and I was like, yeah, okay. I think I was kind of let down because they kind of teased Boba Fett, and I knew Boba Fett wasn't going to be in the next episode, but I was kind of hoping. And so I was like, okay, well, he's leaving the planet, so we're not going to learn anything more about Boba Fett and the Mandalorian. So I was like, okay, whatever. So
I'm just so curious about how they're. Well, I'm just curious how they're going to use him in the season, if at all, because we still have Ahsoka and some rumors about some other Mandalorians we can talk about in a second that could possibly show up. And of course, Correct me. What's the name of? I just want to call him Gus from Breaking Bad, Black Saber.
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon. That's right. We still have Moff Gideon to deal with. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we have all this stuff that we're hyped up for that I was expecting to see in the second episode, but we ended up getting like this little spider horror film, which watching it a second time, I was actually more involved, and by the time I was done with it the second time. I was like, man, this episode was actually really good.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun.
I almost liked it better than the first one.
Yeah,
which is a very unpopular opinion at this point, but
no, I
really
I
enjoyed
freaking
a lot of it.
I love those X-wing pilots, man. They're awesome.
Well, yeah, Captain Tev Pearson, I forget his name, and then
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni's character, Trapper Wolf. That one.
There's a couple shots I like in particular. I like when they after they kill the what do you call them? Scrigna, something like that.
Krigna. You're talking about the spiders.
Krigna. Okay, so the Krigna.
Krigna. Yeah, there you
go. Krigna.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So when they take them out, I love that shot with like the music after they let Din Djarin know about how he saved the life of Commander Davin from episode 5 in season 1, and how he was wanted, but they're like, we're basically gonna let you go, but we're kind of not allowed to let you go. But anyway, they just kind of take off, and it's got this. Yeah, these are difficult times, and then this cool music starts playing, and their cockpit shut, and I thought that was an awesome scene with the music and everything.
Help me fix my ship. How about you fix your transponder? We won't shoot you the next time you're here.
Yeah.
See ya.
It's like they're almost. It's like they're almost like kind of like dicks to leave him there, but at the same time they can't. They're supposed to arrest him technically,
Yeah, I know. And then he's flying off the. He's like, all right, well, we're gonna seal the cockpit, and then we're gonna fly us off to the next destination.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's like, all right, wake me up if the door opens. I'm just kidding. We'd be dead if that happened. And then the frog lady's all freaking out. I thought that was comedy. And then I couldn't remember. I just thought of the whole thing from A New Hope with Luke going, "What a piece of junk."
Yeah. the chase scene was awesome in the clouds on the ice planet.
Dude, yeah.
With the ice planet's called Maldo Kreis. Or Maldo Kreis,
okay. Maldo Kreis.
Kreis, Kreis, okay. Maldo Kreis, which is the same ice planet from the pilot, correct? Season 1?
The first, season 1. The ice planet that we see where he gets his ship attacked by that giant creature and he escapes from it. Yeah.
That just the whole the cinematography on that, the style of the chase was just a lot of fun. It was awesome. I love how he dodges them, and it was good.
Yeah, no, because I was looking at shit like the Razor Crest, for instance. Like you look at his ship and it looks kind of like bulky, and so it's kind of interesting to kind of see like you got these two like maneuverable X-wings flying through the clouds, and you got this giant ship, and it's like, okay, so how's he gonna outmaneuver these guys and hide from them? And turns out he's got to crash it and shut off his systems. Yeah, almost kind of reminded me of Empire Strikes Back thing with the Falcon hiding from the Star Destroyers and the TIE Fighters, and then just goes into the space log and just turns off the systems, and they just kind of chill there for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it reminded me of. It's kind of a nice little callback. I don't know if that's what they're going for, but that's what it reminded me of.
I just like how they're just like, don't make us do this. We don't want to shoot you. Don't make us do this. And then he just keeps to lead them on. Love when they showed up though, how they were just kind of chatting with him on the. He's like, oh yeah, just give me a second here. They're like, can you send us a ping, and then he's like, yeah, like 1 second, and then it's like quiet, and they're like, we can wait.
Yep. He's like,
It's like
crap. And they're like, oh, switch to channel 2, please. And then
yeah.
next thing you know,
the
and
X-Wings,
10 minutes later, you just see the X-Wings go into formation
S-foils,
with the
S-foils,
S-foils, yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah, that was.
he's like, well, time to run.
Yeah.
And then we'll chase, because they recognize the Razor Crest from the what you call it. Yeah,
Pre-Empire.
on it. Pre-Empire, yeah, but from season 1, when he did the highest, they recognized the ship, and so they tied that in with that at the end, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah. that was really good. Switch to channel 2, please. That was real. Actually,
you just got that
caught,
awkward
I
silence.
thought that was, yeah, no, I thought the whole thing was way funnier the second time I watched it. Honestly, there was a lot more that I caught. It was good.
Yeah, see, that's the type of humor that I felt the movies missed. And it's because that's how a lot of how the original trilogy was set up. It was kind of a lot of like situational humor. It wasn't like jokes upon jokes.
Yeah, we're
upon
fine.
Jokes.
We're all fine here. How are you?
Yeah, it was more like situational stuff. It's like, okay, all right, yeah, we can wait. Or all right, switch to channel 2,
It's
and
like
then you just got this awkward silence, and he's just sitting there, just like awkwardly waiting for him, and then all of a sudden you just see the X-Wing just go into S-foil position, and he's like, crap, and then it's just funny.
It reminded me of the humor from this episode 7 on season 1, where the scout troopers are just kind of hanging out, and they're doing the target. They're doing target practice, and then the guy's like, man, is it time to go in yet? Why don't you check in or whatever? And he's like checking with the guy. He's like, they just asked the general or the admiral and or the Moff, whatever you can call him, and they just killed. Yeah, he just killed a guy for asking, so it's gonna be a while, So, and they're just like really nonchalant about it. I like that. It's good.
Yeah, they kind of reminded me of. We'll get more into it when we cover season 1, but there was a comic series in Legends that they released a long time ago. They're called Tagging Beings, and there are these 2 rebel pilots that when Vader gets onto the Tantive 4, they get captured, and then they steal stormtrooper armor, and then in order to hide, and then they end up getting stuck in the Imperial Army, and they're just kind of like stuck waiting for their opportunity to leave, and it's just a bunch of like banter between the 2, and they witness every event throughout the original trilogy, all the way up to the point where they're wearing Royal Guard uniforms because they're stuck with Palpatine. and then
it reminds me of the Troops too. Remember Troops, like the Cops Stormtrooper show back in the 90s that some fans made?
Oh yeah, I do remember that a little bit.
Yeah, it had that same kind of quirky humor. It was good.
Yeah, pretty much. So man, there's the beginning of the episode. I don't know. It was just a very like small part. It's kind of cool because it kind of shows that they're still hunting the child. That little setup, he's just driving down the valley, and then you see these just bounty hunters just kind of just setting up.
Were those ones hired by Boba Fett?
See, someone was asking about that. They're like, maybe Boba Fett hired him because he's trying to get his armor back. I'm like, well, okay, well, think of it this way. Boba Fett just barely saw him. I don't think he'd have enough time to hire bounty hunters. 2, when the whole thing came, the baby just rolled off, and then they're like, grab the child. I think if they were hired by Boba Fett, I think they'd be more like geared towards getting the armor, because I feel that would have been Boba's objective. And even at the end of that whole thing, Din Djarin's like, okay, don't hurt the child. You can take whatever you want from their wreckage because there's tons of valuable stuff. And the guy's like, nope, I want your jetpack. It's like, okay, all right. Well, obviously, so that's just my thinking. Maybe Boba Fett's still doing the bounty hunter stuff, and he's tracking Din Djarin all the way there and trying to get the child. I don't know. Maybe it has nothing to do with armor.
I like how they did they did kind of a homage to the Ewok clothesline scout trooper trick.
Oh
those bounty hunters with the whole clothesline.
They did that with one of the speeder bikes on Endor in the beginning too.
Yeah, I love how Din Djarin when he crashes, he goes flying, but he uses his
Dude, yeah, I thought that was pretty dope to stabilize himself.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
super cool. It's almost like
I actually
Iron Man's
really like.
style.
Yeah, just a little bit. I actually really like that whole little fight scene. I like that close quarter combat that
Yeah.
he was doing. He kind
No,
of shows that he's like good
they
with
had
a
real good
gun, but he's also
choreography
good
there.
like uphand. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
even the first season with some of the fight scenes, they've done really well with choreography. I
Yeah.
like that he had control over his jetpack. He's like, okay, well you can take my jetpack, and then end up killing the guy. And I like that little nod that he gives to the
To
child.
Baby Yoda.
The
Yeah.
child, the child just looks up at him and he's like, oh, all right. So he's training the kid to be a killer, which I think is gonna be funny. Kid gonna be struggling with the dark side a little bit, being trained by Din Djarin or
I thought it's funny because I just
Mando.
thought when the guy was running away, he was gonna blow him up or something, or and then he presses the button, the jetpack just goes shooting off in the air, and then next thing you know,
Then
the
he
guy
just
comes
comes
falling
flies
down
back
to
to
his
him.
death. Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's
That was
flat.
like morbid
Just
but funny at the same time.
yeah, exactly. Speaking of morbid, oh my gosh, the child. I texted my buddy. I texted him after he said, "I'm like, what'd you think of the episode?" He's like, "All I've got to say is Baby Yoda equals baby killer."
Yeah, that poor frog
He
lady,
was like,
man.
he's killing like the line of this frog lady's history. It's like, okay, this is the last line of my people or her specific bloodline, and the child just in there just snacking on the
On the eggs.
on the eggs. And
Oh
then I just thought it
gosh.
was common. It's like the Mando just comes down and he's like, no, that's not food. All right, nap time.
I think everybody just loves that last shot where they're flying off and Baby Yoda's looking back at Frog Lady and she's hugging her eggs and everything looks good and everything. And he just kind of slips out one more egg.
Yeah, no, I thought that was just comedy.
That was hilarious.
It was funny because like that whole frog lady thing, like she ends up leaving the ship after they crash and they go into like this little hot spring. I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
like a couple things. Like, okay, well they wouldn't have gotten into this giant like spider chase if it wasn't for the frog lady, and if it wasn't for the freaking child. The frog just
Yeah,
wanted
no,
to eat
that,
eggs, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
look at all these eggs. I'm just gonna huddle over there and just open one up and just start snacking on them. I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna end bad. Or I mean, this isn't gonna end good.
Yeah, that was the whole spider chase was actually really fun, I thought.
I thought so too. It was like I said, like it was a different pace to the show. Like the first episode, like we get like epic uh dragon hunter and
Mm-hmm.
adventure, tons of action, and this one it's just kind of a little bit of a darker feel and kind of more like
Definitely had
gives you a little bit of
the horror feel
arachnophobia.
to it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, it definitely give you the jitters, man. They're definitely creepy, man.
Oh yeah.
It
I
was
like
cool
how
that I like that. Well, they're obviously I think did you mention yet? I'm sure a lot of people know by now they're from an old Ralph McQuarrie sketch. And then they made
yeah.
their first appearance in Rebels, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, they made an appearance on Rebels a few times. So for anyone that has yet to follow us, just jump onto our Instagram page. I did a little post on it and and then under our
Yeah.
highlights, look up creatures. We did a little bit of a background on them.
Gosh, those guys are
But
creepy, man.
they showed up in about 4 episodes of Rebels,
Yeah.
which is really cool. I
Just
actually
Rebels, right?
didn't
They
really
never showed
remember
up in
them.
Clone Wars or anything like that.
No, they didn't show
Okay.
up until after Disney got in control of the franchise.
One thing
And even
I've liked, well, one thing I've liked about Disney is that they're using these old sketches. A lot of the characters, like Zeb, for example, from Rebels. There's a lot of others. Zeb was in one of the old Cantina sketches from Ralph McQuarrie, and they
oh
used
yeah,
him as a character. And then the, you know, the I got a hard time with their name. The Skigna, the Kigna, the Krigna.
oh the Krikna.
The Crickna. They were also in a Macquarie sketch too. Gosh, that's a hard name to say when I don't have it written down in front of me.
Yeah,
um,
it's really interesting because like they're pulling like there's a lot of Ralph McQuarrie work that I've never actually seen
yeah,
until they just started popping up recently,
yeah,
within the last like few years.
yeah. No,
Even
that's
with
one thing I like,
Force
and
Awakens,
I
there's a
think
lot that I saw.
a lot of people don't know that, and it's kind of cool. It gives you a greater appreciation for the Disney Star Wars. they're actually trying to cater to the fans as much as they can.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I was just gonna say, I talked about this a little bit in the last episode, but one thing I like about just the way Mandalorian's going too is I enjoy all the references as far as species go in the Star Wars universe for not just Disney Star Wars movies. They have original Star Wars movies and prequel Star Wars movies. You know, like they had Marath. His name's Marath from the Rogue One. That kind of white, hairy creature. They had him show up in the cantina in Mos Eisley. Of course, you got Jawas and Tusken Raiders, and then you'll have other prequel species. Like, for example, you saw Zabrak in the first episode of season 2 as one of the guys that got a knife thrown at him at the Gamorrean fight. There's Gamorreans too, Gamorrean guards. Just all this kind of stuff is fun. You get to see a little bit of everything from the entire set Star Wars universe that we know today. It's just really cool. It's really cool how they're putting it all together.
Even when he was with the probe lady, he was trying to talk to her. He's like, I don't speak whatever language they're speaking. Like,
oh, yeah.
Do you know Hoth? And then he awkwardly tries to speak it.
Yeah, that was good. I love that bit. That was good. It's funny. Huttese is kind of like the secondary language of Star Wars. If you don't know English, you probably know Huttese. You know, that's kind of interesting.
That's true. That is actually really true. I like how they paid a lot of homage to the first season, so it kind of like ties everything together. Like we discussed a little bit about like the detention center and the prison break, and then they kind of give us like a little hint with that the droid that was there, and so the probe lady bypasses him and turns him back on, so she's able to use his vocabulator and translator. And
that was
Mando's
really cool.
like, he's like, what are you doing? That droid is dangerous.
I know. Like I remember when
he's already got like the spirit of droids at this point. He's like, all right.
Well, it was right from the start when you heard that voice, like, wake up, bounty hunter, and like you're like, oh crap, freaking droid's awake.
Yeah, it's like, oh man.
And I wasn't sure what the frog lady was exactly up to because you can't understand her. You're not exactly sure if you can trust her yet. So I was like, oh crap, is she about to do something stupid with this droid? One thing I'm excited about this episode kind of really spiked my interest is the fact that they teased us with the future possible reveal of some more Mandalorians. Which there's a few rumored characters, right? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because the frog lady had like information about some Mandalorians.
Yeah, she said her husband.
That was like the whole point. Yeah, her husband had locations, and that was the whole point. Is like, all right, fine. I'm not a taxi service, but whatever. This gets me closer to my goal.
Do you think this is a Mandalorian that we know, like Bo-Katan or?
I'm thinking it might
Sabine
be Katan.
I think it might be Katan.
I think it's more likely it's going to be Bo-Katan.
Well, who's Sasha Alexander playing?
That's a good question. I thought that was Bo-Katan, but I guess I'm mistaken on that.
Well, is Bo-Katan being is Katie Sackhoff confirmed?
She was another one that was rumored.
Kind of rumor. Gotcha.
Yeah, because she pretty much looks like her character from Clone Wars.
So I think Bo-Katan sort of makes sense with the strong Ahsoka Tano rumors because the two of them are friends, and that could be how we meet Ahsoka Tano too, and also how we get more of the Black Saber story.
The Dark Saber, yeah, I figured
the Dark Saber
because we have the Dark Saber like at the end of the first season, and so I'm thinking Bo-Katan is coming back to get the saber. Like either people think she's killed off. I think it was just stolen from her, and she's just coming back to take it.
Sure. Well, she's the rightful heir of Mandalore at the time, correct?
Pretty much, yeah. Because she's because Mandalore's not really a monarchy setup, but her family was the rulers at the time, and then Sabine's like, all right, take the dark saber. You'd be better leader than I would.
Well, the last time we saw the dark saber was in Rebels when Sabine gave it to Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the last time we saw it. And then all of a sudden we saw Moff Gideon with it at the end of season 1. So I really think that there's some sort of tie between those two characters. And that might be how we get them again in this season. And it also might be how we get Ahsoka Tano somehow. I feel like they're all tied somehow. I feel like this interesting Frog Lady story might lead us up to this bigger grand scheme of the whole season. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like how I did discuss in like the first episode, or yeah, have it in the chapter 9 is, I feel like a lot of these side stories are kind of small little build-ups to the actual story, and so I'm really curious on how this is going to tie into the next one.
Just like episode,
little,
yeah, oh yeah, these little adventures. There's always that's one thing. That's how season 1 was too. They had all these little adventures, and it just led up to the grand finale of season 1, which it's really cool because I like that there's only 8 episodes, so it's not going to take us very long to get there. I like that we get one
yeah,
every week,
exactly.
and we could just savor the one episode, and we get to speculate for another week, and then the next one comes out, and I feel like they're just going to get better and better.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the reasons why one of my buddies, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna watch them. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until there's at least 5 or 6 so I can binge watch them. I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, you
Yeah,
gotta watch them now. I'm like, you're gonna miss like the whole hype of speculation on getting to the next one.
exactly. Exactly. I was talking to my brother about watching him too. He said he hadn't seen him yet, and he was waiting for this episode to come out, the second one. He said he does 2
Okay.
episodes at a time because he said he feels like when he watches 2 episodes, it feels more like he's watching a movie. So he said he'll
Oh,
usually wait
fair
for 2
enough.
and he'll do 2 at a time. But I think doing 1 at a time is a lot more. I get a lot more out of it personally because
Oh,
it's easy
absolutely.
to focus. It's easy to focus on a 50-minute episode and think about it and talk about it like we're talking about right now and speculate what's going to happen next. I think it kind of helps the hype.
Oh, absolutely. Um, so in the next episode, do you think that they're gonna do more with the frog lady, or do you think they'll focus a whole another episode, or do you think it's gonna be kind of just like maybe like the first 5-10 minutes, and then he's gonna jump onto the next lead?
Well, it depends on how long it takes them to get to the destination because aren't they going sublight right now?
Yeah, I mean they can easily just kind of pass time between episodes, so
I
it's
know.
like
I'm just
okay,
joking. I'm
we
just
still
joking.
yeah yeah, which
But
is interesting because
yeah,
he was going sublight, so the eggs don't die.
yeah,
But now he's got
that's
to keep an eye
terrible.
on the kid,
It's gonna be
otherwise
like 2
it
weeks
will
later.
die pretty
No, but
much.
for I think that I think Frog Lady will be in the next episode, probably just the beginning, and then they'll go to meet the husband. There's a shot we got in the trailer where you saw Sasha Banks' character wearing that hood and she was kind of hidden out. And
Oh, okay.
I feel like we're going to meet that character. I think the next episode is going to be the episode where he goes on that boat. You know, the
Oh,
episode
okay.
where they're on some type of journey through the ocean. I feel like it's possible that could be the world they go to next, and that lady shows it. It kind of looked like the spot where Sasha Banks' character will probably show up, sort of
Right.
halfway through the question is, I don't know if she is some sort of Jedi or if she's going to be one of the Mandalorians from what I saw in the trailer. I know it's just the trailer, but they were kind of throwing the little over narration when the armorer was talking and she's like telling her, it was kind of narrating how Din Djarin is taking the child back to his kind. And they were talking about Jedi and saying sorcerers and Jedi and those beings that used to be. And as she was talking about this, you saw Sasha Banks kind of in the background wearing a hood. So I don't know if they're
Mm-hmm.
hinting that this is some sort of Jedi or if she's going to be a Mandalorian. I feel like if she is a Mandalorian, Sabine Wren would sort of fit her look.
Yeah.
But we're yet to see. It's yet to be determined. If she's Bo-Katan, I thought that they would use Katie Sackhoff, the voice of Bo-Katan, for
Yeah.
Bo-Katan, but I don't know. I think that's what's fun is there's a lot of rumors at this point, and we're just speculating. We don't know a lot of stuff. We don't even know if Ahsoka Tano is really going to show up. We're just
Yeah,
kind
'cause
of
she's still
assuming.
rumored.
Yeah, it's all still rumored, right? So that's kind of the fun of it right now. I'm enjoying the
Oh,
journey.
absolutely.
It's all about the
That's
journey.
what Yeah, and that's why I like watching episode by episode and hearing all these rumors. It's like, okay, this could be a possibility. Oh, they're going this way. Oh, I didn't know that. I was completely wrong, or I was completely right. It's kind of jumping back in like when we discussed like the sequel trilogy, each film, and seeing how much stuff we can get right and see how far off we were on certain things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah,
And,
those are fun. Those are fun.
and
But
that's why I'm really
what
liking
kind
John
of
Favreau
yeah.
like leading this, because he's kind of like a little unpredictable on a few things.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is, man. So
Yeah,
well, there's lots to look forward to, man.
Oh yeah. Um, would you like? What'd you think of seeing what's her face? Pelimoto again. I wonder if she's gonna be kind of like his little sidekick. Because I know in like a lot of the expanded universe back before Disney took over, like you had Dash Rendar, he had his droid. I can't remember the name, LG or something like that. And then Lando Calrissian has a Lobot, and then Jango Fett had a little what's one of those species called? I forget what they're, but he had her who kind of gave him like all the leads and stuff for bounties and stuff, and they're kind of building her character up, Polimoto, to be kind of his like information giver, like his little sidekick. Like he'll go to her, report to her, okay, what have you heard on this? And then she'll throw leads at
She's
him.
the babysitter.
Yeah, I want to say what is it?
She's good though. I like.
Think of like in superhero words, like she's his watchtower.
Yeah, I can see that
Or
for
in the
sure.
Flash, like
Yeah,
like the little group that was in his head, like okay, we're a team now. Or
sure.
she could just be like, I'm
His
not gonna lie,
Alfred.
her, yeah, like her character is growing on me a lot. I wasn't
Yeah, no,
expecting it to, but
I actually
I
liked her
liked
from
her
the
better.
beginning because she felt very like 70s 80s A New Hope kind of look. She had that real like kind of old school look that we saw in the original Tatooine. I
Yeah,
thought I think she fits that world really good. I like her. She's kind of got that fun kind of quirky
she's got
small
the fun
town humor.
personality.
She
Yeah,
does.
exactly.
Yeah, no,
And
she's great. I
like,
like her.
especially that scene when he after his speeder gets destroyed, he's just like walking with all his gear, and then he gets to the cantina and she's just chilling, like playing a game of sabacc, and she's like, "Oh
Huh.
yeah, he's on rules. He'll give you information if you spot him his credits or whatever." And he throws it down, and she's like, "Ah, I won." He's like, "I thought you were leaving. I said he was. I said he was on a roll. I didn't say he was gonna win." And she's like, "Quit your crying. Your armor will rust."
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's good. I like her.
I,
But you're right. She
yeah, I
is
thought
kind
that.
of the information giver at this point.
Yeah, I actually really like the how they paid homage to the cantina again.
Yeah, no, I did too. When he was traveling back in the desert, at first I thought it was gonna be. I actually thought it'd be cool if it was Mos Espa, just because they've already done uh, Mos
Moss
Eisley.
Eisley.
But of course, like you said, that they've got to go back to they're building up these characters they have, and I think that yeah, she's gonna be his Alfred Watch. She's gonna be his supporter, his supplier,
Yeah, it's
his
a,
giver of information.
yeah. I feel like we've seen her more than Cara Dune, which I'm
Yeah,
also waiting to see her and what was the other? I forget the one guy's name, the guild leader.
Gosh dang. That is.
Well,
Can't think.
I'm wondering I'm just wondering when those two are gonna come back.
Yeah,
Lot
yeah.
to look forward to.
It's funny. Well, when I was watching season one, I just watched episode 3 a few days ago again, and it's crazy how
Yeah,
much of a turn. It's crazy how much he's changed. How he was first going after, um, you know, Din Djarin and with all the bounty hunters and they're having that whole banter and he's like all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the child and I'm gonna walk to my ship. And then he's just like well, how about this, you give
yeah,
us the child and we're tear him off your body or whatever. No, it's interesting how he's kind of come around. He literally just kind of came around just from the instance where the child saved him, where he healed him.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I was looking at this episode. I think it was kind of a little bit more character building for the child, because we saw the child a lot more in this episode, and the child was kind of doing its own thing. Like, he's out there fixing the ship after it's like broken, and the child walks up to him, and he's like, "Go make yourself useful," and the child just kind of like walks away all sad, and then he's like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh, where's he going?" And then he notices the footprints, and then pulls out his little tracking system, which I really love everything that they've been doing with like the detail on for his armor. Like even the more time he's on that planet, you just see his armor just frosting more and more.
Yeah. No, it was really good detailing. Grief Karga was his name, by the way.
Grief Karga, yeah, that's his name. Grief Karga.
I was trying to like think of the scene when where the old Imperial, now I can't think of his name, when he's getting his original bounty mission, and where he's saying grief, that's where he says name, Grief Karga says you're the best bounty hunter and blah blah blah. So I was thinking, I was like, what did he call him? I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Think of that scene with him.
Grief Karga. That's a cool name. I like that character says it.
Yeah, but no, it'll be good to see Cara doing a Grief Karga again.
Yeah, I was expecting Cara to kind of be more like of a regular on the show.
I
mean, there's still time, but yeah, I mean, she's off doing her own thing, and
supposedly there's a season 3 and 4 anyway. They got more seasons coming.
Season 3 is supposedly going to be recording recording pretty soon, and rumor has it we're going to see Hondo. Yeah, rumors are already jumping around, and Hondo is one of them.
Gosh, man, that would be nuts. Our real life, yeah, he's the Jack Sparrow of Star Wars,
Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. So, and I've seen some really good cosplays of him when I was in. I want to say it was Orlando. When I was in Orlando, when my cousin got me into the Rebels panel, they had like this little thing before the show started, and so a guy came in cosplay as Hondo. That's actually pretty good. They brought him up on stage, and he tried mimicking him and did his mannerisms.
He's definitely. I'd say he's my second favorite character that Dave Filoni came up with, besides Ahsoka Tano, and then of course I like Pre Vizsla a lot from Clone Wars, but I'd probably say he's my third. But Pre Vizsla's awesome, voiced by Jon Favreau.
Yeah,
he's badass.
I don't know. When it comes to favorite characters, I have to break him down into like categories. Like I gotta look at like smugglers or pirates. Like Hondo is by far my favorite pirate. And then Pre Vizsla.
Hondo's awesome.
Might be one of my favorite Mandalorians.
Yeah.
And then
and actually I was shocked in Rebels how Hondo, how he came back and he was like just as good in Rebels as he was in Clone Wars. He was hilarious.
He became a little bit of a softie and a Rebel supporter.
Yeah, he did become a softie. He had a soft spot for old Ezra, man. Yeah, man, he's great. He's great. That makes I want to rewatch. I want to do a rewatch of the whole Clone Wars series and Rebels. I rewatched Rebels a couple years ago and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, which we'll definitely have to do in the future, which will give a lot of things for our viewers, to our listeners to look forward to. Just because we're going to cover each arc, each arc in Clone Wars, and kind of like give our little discussion and thoughts and characters and all that. But my overall opinion of this episode, I thought it was really good. I know a lot of people were kind of on the fence with it, but I mean, you got to expect the pace to change. And so next week we'll have another episode, and we'll be here to discuss it. You guys be sure to subscribe to us so you guys don't miss it. Just remember, we're going to stay up to date on our Instagram, so we're going to keep all our links to everything down below in the description. We got a link to our Instagram page, so go give us a follow. Subscribe to us here, and if you want to check out some of the cool designs that we come up with for shirts, especially in time for Christmas. Christmas is coming up, so get that special someone or treat yourself to a cool shirt. So all the links will be down below. So this is Echo 2 signing off till next week.
Echo 5 signing off.
May the force be with you.